Hey, okay. Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to the show. Hi. Good evening. Yeah, we're here. Another road trip.
Should we set up the two cameras like we did?
Yeah, I'm going to do that. I just have to extend this out to your legs a little bit farther.
Okay, got it. Oh, I can do that.
Hey there. Welcome.
I know you wanted to sit here, but I'll just sit here.
Yeah,
I think I do a good job of telling you what's on the show.
you're actually really good with that. Yeah.
But Dr. Meow, of course, has a cat emoticon.
Okay.
Okay, let me add my other camera. Again, we're adding Logitech. There's David. Okay, got you, David.
Hey, everybody. Welcome.
Why is mine not on? Oh, I have the Logitech on here twice. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, you're adding the Bison,
Remove.
the Bison camera. Good evening. Hello to everybody.
Now I want to add the Bison.
That came with this. We are going to be doing an upgrade on our technology when we get home. This laptop has struggled with Windows 8.1, and we have a problem with one of our connections that XSplit requires, in order for the program to run properly, requires Windows 10. So we're going to have the FBI at Geek Buddies, or yeah, the Geek Squad, and I understand they work for the FBI now. We're going to have them do the upgrades. So we're going to ask the FBI to do our upgrades for us so that we can have a fully upgraded computer. And they can put any software that they want on there to violate our privacy. I don't care. You know, I really don't even have a problem with having people listen in on our show. You know, I think it's great that people are watching. We do a show from the road, as you know, which is part of our deal. We also accommodate viewers who are talking about Trump tonight, who are upset that he's freaking out. Well, I told you this would happen. I hate to say it, but I told you so. We're going to see how our audio is coming in. We'll open up our iVlog room a little later. We're broadcasting on iVlog and Vaughn from
Have you
remote location.
stolen David's hat? No, David got me my own hat.
I have a hat here.
But
yeah, this is a cool hat she has, I think.
Should I take my hat off?
Well, I told her she looked like Annie Oakley today with that hat. It's kind of cool.
Hello.
And I look like a cowpoke. So summery. She is very summery. We're having a wonderful time here in California.
Okay, let me.
On vacation, but bringing you a show no matter where we are, what we do, we are here. I hope you're all having a Thought Lizard. You don't need to be here. Yeah, bad him.
Why?
Well, he's doxed us, committed two, 3 felonies, and he's going to be charged with criminal negligence in numerous areas. Yeah, we don't allow you here.
He's not saying anything bad.
Are you? Well, are you Lot Lizard?
He says I didn't do that. He said, and all he said so far is Sarah looks so summery, and David is a handsome cowboy.
Okay, well you can hang then, as long as you don't.
I think I can.
As long as you don't take it to another level. That guy doesn't need a drink like that, you know.
That's a huge amount of calories, dude.
Some people don't realize they're walking out of a coffee shop with 3,000 calories.
Text.
Yeah, Trump says he didn't know about Stormy Daniels' payment. This will certainly invalidate the NDA and could get Trump under deposition. Yeah, definitely. Thanks, Don Trump Jr. Yeah, thanks for keeping us abreast of your dad's activities. Thought Lizard got access to this show, so you're not going to be banned as long as you stay within the parameters of our requirements. Don't attack me. Talk about the issues. Don't attack Sarah. Don't try to make eyes to Sarah like your girlfriend, your boyfriend, or something.
I mean, please don't do that.
We had a ban who's been who had pretended to be a supporter for years, and we permabanned him last night. Made a couple people upset. You know I permabanned him, right?
I do, and actually that doesn't make me upset because it was making me feel weird and uncomfortable, and I tried to explain that to that person.
I do Spawn 2020 and then AmericasThirdParty.com.
I know. I gotcha. I just have to expand it out.
Well, his initials are MD. Yeah. He pushed the envelope of acceptability.
Like that?
That's perfect. Maybe go with white.
Well, I thought blue was good.
Oh, blue's good, yeah.
I mean, I went for the
Whatever,
lightest
as long as I
blue.
can see it. Yeah, that's cool.
All right, now.
You're gonna get some noise from the traffic around here because we are in a trafficy area. I used to live in this area.
He kept claiming like he kept acting like I was his virtual girlfriend. And
Yeah.
I kept saying, hey, I only have eyes for David. Can I put iVlog on this Chrome, or should I use a different?
You can do
browser?
Chrome, but you gotta go off camera when you do it.
Is it Chrome I have to go off, or the other one I have to go off?
Either one, you have to go off camera to do it. It won't.
Okay.
If it'll find it, it won't get in there.
Okay.
So what I do is
Which one do you prefer?
I open up Epic, and just it opens up in the right screen over here, and then just punch in iVlog. Now we did not have a complete broadcast on iVlog TV last night. .tv. We had some issues with the connection, but we did do a lot of evening broadcasting.
I might have my Annie Hall look on tonight. Yes.
Yeah. Tonight's going to be a short broadcast, probably about 3-4 hours. Normally we do a iVlog.tv.
I had iVlog TV. I guess I just need it like that.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I'm gonna let you log in.
Yeah, let me do that.
It already said welcome. So it's
Okay,
like
they're already
you're
in.
logged in.
I don't know.
Because I can just go here because
Yeah,
it's like
that'll work. And then start show.
And then
You're sexy? Well, when you tell yourself you're sexy, you must be sexy. I'm sexy. That's got to be the funniest thing anybody's ever said in the chat room. No cooking segment unless you want to upload what you did last night. Let's play that.
oh, shall we just play a little bit of
Yeah,
it?
let's do it.
Well, just whenever somebody asks for cooking. So
There's the
go
cooking
to
segment.
add media file. Right?
Yep, and it would be in video.
It's in OneDrive video.
Nope, it's in standard video on the main drive.
See.
Right
video.
there, yeah. Go to
Export recordings.
yeah.
Videos.
Yeah, go to export recordings. Go to the bottom of that run. And it should be that one right there with the food. There you go. This is Sarah making sandwiches that we ate today.
So here is a
Here's a repeat of our cooking
Welcome
show.
to my recorded cooking show. Yay! Isn't that cool? Sarah's got no background. We just got a photograph of something in the back. And then we're going to go directly into the cooking show, folks. We've got a pretty good lineup tonight. We've got incredible ham sandwiches with Sarah. So we're going to...
Those sandwiches tasted amazing, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, actually, we ate the sandwiches, and then a couple of the sandwiches, and later we were going to get some more sandwiches, and we said, wait, we ate them all already? Like,
We ate them, yeah. I didn't devour them. They were great.
They were so good.
Incredible ham sandwiches with avocado.
David's hair isn't green, I don't think. It's blonde.
No, it's got blonde hair.
Blonde hair. David, I'd like to call in as the Donald Tequila would like to do a voice impression.
Well, we don't have
you
a
can
call.
do that when we're not broadcasting from the car.
Yeah.
Like,
This is not a good
see
time
the
to do it,
seatbelt?
Tequila.
Yeah.
We're traveling.
We're traveling.
We're traveling.
Not through Chicago, otherwise we'd say hi, but yeah. Did I have Swiss cheese with ham? I don't like Swiss cheese. I did have ham. I prefer turkey, but
Good cheddar
I
cheese.
work with what I can get.
I would not drive for Uber. Uber doesn't insure anybody.
David, remember they can see you up there.
I know, but I'm looking at the chat.
I know, that's David's thing. He always has to look at the chat. All right, David is driving for Uber for extra money. No, have you two been in that back seat? I've been in the back seat alone. was an awesome experience. Let me tell you that.
We've never been in the back seat together.
I'll never forget something. Somebody said, the mob said, I'll never forget the Monte Cristos. Are those the Monte Cristos that David made for you?
Oh,
Because David
wow.
always has his memory of Monte Cristos as well.
Yeah, Sarah
Or
hates
somebody
ham,
else.
so she really
And
had to.
I'm not a big Monte Cristo fan.
No?
I have to say, I'm not.
Well, Monte Cristos have ham and turkey
And egg.
and egg. And
Well,
they cook the
whenever
bread. You know, have
you-
you ever had bread like milk toast?
I know. Well,
Yeah.
it's like French toast, which I don't mind, but it's not very good.
Well,
Did you have toys in that back seat alone, Sarah? No, it was just me. That's it. And I
pork cutlet,
actually
schnitzels.
took a nap in the back seat. Tech Wallace says, if you come by me, my doors are open. I'll ask my mom to cook a nice Polish meal for you both. Pork cutlets.
So you're doing great, man.
Are on tap every Sunday.
That's pretty
Please
cool.
advise. We will advise. We don't plan on going.
We're not going to be
Chicago
there right now, no.
anytime soon. Not until anytime soon. Not
Yeah,
at least for a few months.
I got to tell you, I'm still having a problem with the idea of travel. I'm not used to it, and I'm having a hard time accepting the possibility of travel this summer, so it's highly unlikely I'm going anywhere, at least doing the show every night, especially with Trump melting down now.
Oh, and he sent us a link for endives au jambon,
Oh yeah, I think we can pass on that right now.
an endive recipe. Are you guys driving anywhere? We're not currently driving. We're sitting in front of a coffee shop in order to do the show, but David has been driving a lot. They think David's driving a truck. We'll let you think that.
Okay, yeah, that's
All
great.
right.
Think that.
Tech Wallace having a hard time leaving this house and going grocery shopping. Busy, what a big, busy asked Dave, you took her to Arby's? What a big spender.
Somebody, iBlogger said David doesn't give a crap about iBloggers. No, I care about you. I really do.
Yes, we are. I'm sorry, I'm not ignoring iBloggers. Oh, the mob watched you make Monte Cristo sandwiches, and then she made them, and they were good. She had never had Monte Cristos before, and she loves Monte Cristos.
They're very tasty. They're very tasty. And if you make them with turkey and ham, they're even better than just ham.
Yeah, because David just usually makes them with ham, right?
Yeah. Well, now that I know that you don't like ham, I'm not buying ham purposely. So.
But then they also have some kind of egg in them. I mean,
well, you do the toast and egg, and then you fry them in butter.
You do the toast with almost like a French toast kind of.
But you got to cook both sides of the egg toast, otherwise you have a soggy side. So you got to pre-cook the eggs on the inside.
French toast.
Got to cook it like French toast, and then put cheese in the middle with ham and turkey, and then lots of it, and then just melt it with grilled onions, and it's just so good.
Dr. Meow says endives are young chicory plants, and even Helen Keller or Ellen Kellers can grow those.
No, Ellen Kellers.
Okay, the mob.
I'm gonna plug that in the corner.
The mob says I can only afford one meat at a time.
I hear you. Yeah.
So
Everybody's.
Unless if you if you ever are able to get more than one meat, one thing you can do is actually freeze the other meat.
Yeah.
All right. To Arby's. Pencil Tucky Ducky says Arby's market sandwiches are good. 214 Dallas. Hello, David. I missed your cast last night, but I heard you didn't cast. I like your leather jacket, David.
No, I did cast last night. You can tell
them that you did cast.
Yeah, we casted. We had a full cast last night. It was good.
854 asks, are you both on the run from the feds?
Nope. We're having a vacation.
214 says Sarah's looking hot as always. David, you are a lucky man.
I am. I really am. It's been really a blessing to have Sarah in my life. She's fantastic. I know, but I'm reading the chat over there.
I will read the chat to you.
Well, we can't ignore iBlog.
I'm not ignoring iBlog. They're chatting very slow.
Okay.
Aim Scissor Fight has a link, and 214 Dallas says, "Amen." Sarah rocks. Topic 1 says, and this says, "Honey, wake up the kids. The government is lying. THC cures cancer." 9. Oh, she says, "Honey, wake up the kids," and the guy goes and says, "The government's lying. THC cures cancer. 9/11 was CIA. Chemtrails are real. Vaccines kill. GMOs alter human DNA.
Yeah, really.
Fake
A
news
lot of
is-"
people are waking up to
And the
that.
kids
Yeah.
are like trying to still sleep. All right, and all right. 622 says, Dave, I drove past your house in Oak Harbor. It's still standing for your information. Thank
Thanks.
you. We needed that.
We
Oh,
know
wait.
who you are because we have a copy of your license plate. So
Yeah.
thank you for driving by. I appreciate it.
I
Yeah,
love
I
this
saw you
business.
travel by there last night. It was kind of cool. We have a live stream coverage of our home from multiple camera angles, and that's the nice thing about having the cloud internet recording. If anything did happen to my house, it goes in the cloud for permanent record.
All right, topic one. Did you guys do it on vacation, Dr. Meow? Because you don't have anything, no sound, light, water, or anything. You just let them grow in the wild and dies and harvest them as soon as they sprout and they go above ground. Nice. And Pirates R Us, NYPD, you guys in England have shotguns. Busy, I like the roast beef with the horseradish sauce. 214, David, I would honestly vote for you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
119 is just doing some emoticons over iVlog.
Clown versus Presley.
I filed a complaint with Reddit about last night's cast and the harassment from a certain user. Hopefully they will be dealt with. I've sent screenshots in the ISP of the scumbag bothering us all of.
They're doxing us wherever we go. We can be in one location for about an hour or two.
Thank you, Clown.
They dox us.
Bis Presley.
Yep.
All right. Pirates thinks we're dangerous. He thinks we have shotguns. Yep. 214 likes the mobile cast. Pirates likes the McDonald's drive-through.
Cool.
Says, wow, I'm going to write a novel next time. LOL. Hiya, NYPD and Pirate. Pirate says, AB, I can barely type in English. And 767 asks, is that your Easter bonnet, Sarah? Yeah, pretty much. I kind of got it for Easter. Isn't it a pretty hat?
It's great, it's really nice. It's UV protected, so she is UV rays, protected.
So I'm down here in the sunshine, so it's nice. All right, topic one: how do you learn how to dox people? That's crazy.
Well, we were. Let me address that because we were under the impression we could do these Wi-Fi locations from a certain vendor, and it had never had a problem with this particular company because they have a very big central web server, but for some reason either Vaughn or iVlog has released our IP, because normally this is all completely hidden from any hacker. And yeah, and what we are of the belief now is that these people are getting help from Mark to dox us. Hey, Scissorfy.
214 says, David, how do you have perfect hair and teeth? And Scissorfy asked, did you feel the earthquake today? We had a 5.3 offshore.
I did not. No, Scissorfy, I did not feel it. Maybe it was just me walking around, thinking I was cool, and I just ignored it.
622, thanks for the compliment on the fedora hat. Ardrey, people spam David's home address all the time. I don't know why he'd be afraid of people calling him at Starbucks.
Thank you. I worry about the people at Starbucks, like the manager that came up to me and said, hi, are you David? I said, yeah. Well, your wife is having a baby. Your son just called. I said, no, I don't have a wife. Sarah and I are long-term partners, and she's not pregnant. So then the guy looked at me really weird, and he's like, well, why would they call you? And I said, because they're trolling me. And he went, what's a troll? No. And I said, listen, I'm going to be leaving this Starbucks, and that was a Starbucks 2 days ago, just because I don't want anything bad to happen here, because we've been swatted in the past, I said. So I took off.
Dave Sponham remembers when he was a child in Cali, he was in a big few quakes.
Yeah,
and
I do.
Tsunami Rose. Evening, folks. Oh my goodness, Sarah, I love your hat. Thank you. And James Packer says trolling is real. Mm-hmm. Psycho Behavior says, yo. Sarah and David, how's it
Psycho
going?
Behavior, thanks for coming in. Sorry we accidentally banned you last night or 2 days ago, but we are back up and running.
Clown Miss Presley asks, will the trolling ever stop?
You know, it gets worse because we're more popular than ever, and none of their efforts to stop us have worked. So because we keep trying and doing this, and we can't stop because we won't stop, we have a potential for a big growth. I think what we'll eventually find is that our effort will turn into a real third party, and America will change finally. But it's going to take a lot more work than this. So I'm actually looking even farther past 2020. I expected by 2020, in 8 years since I started this, that, or actually, excuse me, 12 years since I started this, by 2020, I'd get at least a little bit of media advertising or free press in the mainstream media. But no, they blocked me in America. They don't want an average American with great ideas to help the country. James Packer's in Cebu, Philippines on a business trip. Okay.
Meow TV thinks that they don't dox your actual location, that they just call every Starbucks within a certain radius,
Maybe.
and that they just with your physical description. So
They probably do. Well, if this happens, we will do another Starbucks in the area. It turns out that VPNs don't work with Starbucks because of a configuration issue. Because they're using some sort of metadata transfer for Starbucks. So we can't use a VPN on Starbucks, although we can broadcast from other locations with a VPN. And we have a VPN, so they won't be able to find out where we're actually located. So we've done a lot of work to preserve our security.
Looking at the camera, David. Thank you.
So
Dr. Meow thinks we should wear a disguise next time. I thought David was wearing a disguise.
I was, yeah.
Where's your blonde Beetle wig?
I've got it in the back. I've got it, the one I played in our cookie show. Go ahead and play our cooking show again.
Oh, yes. Let's go back to our cooking show.
Thank you for saying that, 214 Dallas. Well, we're both centrists. Yeah, I think a lot of people are centrists, and we just have never been able to build a political movement because they don't want people to unite. You see, the trick in the world that's going on, the trick the rich elitists are using is to divide us by separating us into left versus right, or right versus left. And that's the trick they use. If you're wondering what the trick is, divide and conquer. And when we have a good solid plan for America, they want to shoot it down. And they don't want me to be heard because I look good and I speak well. And I don't have anything stopping me from clarifying what I say. So many people are always looking to find out simpler ways of communicating, and I'm one of them. And I've done a very good job of explaining the simplicity of our effort. And I think that scares the rich people because they don't want anyone to be honest and decent in power. They want puppets, people they can manipulate like Trump, who owes a lot of money to these people. That's how they pull his strings. Plus, there may be a sex tape out there that may be in play. They may be blackmailing Trump right now. We don't even know. But Trump is very, very hidden and deceptive himself, and I think he's lying about not actually paying the $130,000 out to keep Stormy Daniels silent. Now, what Stormy Daniels is alleging is that she was approached by a man who said, "You better stop this Trump thing," and then turned to her daughter in a parking lot and looked at the daughter and said, "Oh, what a pretty little girl. She wouldn't want to lose her mother." Now, that's very, very serious. That's a crime. You can't threaten and intimidate people like that. And Stormy's alleging that she was threatened physically. And I agree. I think she definitely was. And I remember what happened with Justice for Katie, that woman who sued Trump for raping her when she was 13 years old, allegedly. And she said she was so frightened she couldn't even appear with her attorney the next day. And then the next day after that, she dropped the charges. So threats and intimidation seem to be keeping Trump's accusers at bay. And that's a serious allegation. Just sit here.
Okay.
Okay, we will.
All right.
I don't think we can claim Stormy as anything other than a woman who's been harassed by a man who had sex with her when he was in a marriage with his wife and had a little baby, Barron.
Why would you say that, 873? I'm not trying to turn David Show into a joke at all.
No one's making this a joke. We have a very serious effort.
Well, I'm sure the statute of limitations is way past by now, 119 thinks. And
Trump has actually lied incessantly. We've caught him lying over 2,000 times. So when you say he would never lie, you must be completely brain dead.
All right. Psycho Behavior says, Dave, a curious question for you. Sure. As a thrift American, do you buy single ply or double ply toilet paper?
I go for double ply because I think it's worth the value.
Just use one sheet.
Just use, who can use one square? My dad had this weird, funny thing.
2 sheets at a time.
I think my dad used to say, well, the best way to save on toilet paper is to put a hole through the toilet paper, put your finger through it, and then wipe with your finger, and then and then wipe your
That's
finger
horrible.
off like that. And it's like, I don't think that works.
That doesn't work. We won't be. If you wanted
Uh-oh.
me to play Mr. Right,
We can
for
play
these
Mr. Right.
people, okay.
Okay, let's click the Scissor Fight link at Washington Post. Thank you, Scissor Fight. Appreciate it. And let's play Mr. Right.
Okay.
And go to media, add media, and it'll
Here?
be in the and it'll be in the up in this section. Up
Music.
in yeah, it's an audio up in the OneDrive. There we go, and it's right down there. Let's do a light Mr. Right, just a
One
short
or
one.
two.
Number 1. Yeah, that's good. Here we go, everybody.
Too good to be true.
Just a short little Mr. Right.
That was just a teaser. Yeah.
Wait. I was going to do the cooking on the road.
Yeah, we
one
can-
on each piece. But sometimes what I'll do is I'll put the I'll overlay them. But either way, if I overlay them, I start with the stem along the crust of the sandwich so that when you overlay it, it has a leafy lettuce part in the center of the sandwich. And this one I'll show you in a second. I've got to slice all of these along the stem. I tell you, I am a sandwich person. How long did the sandwiches take to make?
How long did it take? 1 hour. We took a 1 hour sandwich session yesterday. So we have that video I will upload to my own David Sponham site in the future. Whereas we're not in any big hurry to upload. You know what we found out last night? There was a site that gave us details about our number of subscribers. And while our subscriber count hasn't moved in 7 years at YouTube.
Until I made the sandwiches?
No. It still hasn't moved.
Oh, we have.
There are people tracking our subscriptions, and they said we just acquired 44 new subscribers within an hour, and yet
Wow.
it doesn't move. So there are people tracking stats we can't even find at YouTube.
All right.
You have to be a YouTube CGI hitman in order to, or hitwoman in order to. So there's a lot of talk about this woman who allegedly injured 3 people and then killed herself at Google headquarters. Everyone's saying, where's the videotape of this? I mean, surely there are cameras at Google headquarters. How come no one's seen it? And then they showed a picture of her, and it turns out she's like a CGI character they created. So not only are these lies like perpetuated over and over again by the powerful elite, they're now making us think that people are killing people or shooting at people when they're just CGI characters. They want to push the envelope on reality, unfortunately, which kind of sucks in and of itself.
Okay, sorry. We haven't been uploading. No, we haven't been uploading.
No, I haven't uploaded any of the shows because, number one, my teeth fell out the first night.
And then we had that horrible ear. Oh, everybody was like, ear damage, Sarah, stop.
Yeah, then there was ear rape from some weird source we didn't know what. So we're going to look at some of those videos. Maybe we're going to upload maybe about 80% of our videos off the road. But you had drool coming out of his mouth from the fake teeth when they came out. Was that drool, really? Because I thought it was just really good food coming out of my mouth.
Something like that.
All right. That's why I don't think I want to play I don't want to upload that. Where I talk with my teeth falling out. Well, I am wearing press-on veneer. It's the highest state-of-the-art technology here on Earth.
There was a CGI. Oh, 119 said the CGI character has a human mother. I saw her on TV today.
Yeah, they have human fake mothers for the CGI characters. Anybody can be purchased and can say that they're the mother of somebody. It's really easy to hire a crisis actor to say you're your mom. I could probably, even though my mom's been dead about, 18 years now, she could still come back to life, and somebody could say they're my mom and sign a waiver.
214 asks, David, what do you think about illegals getting driver's licenses in California?
I don't think illegal people need driver's license in California. I think they don't need a driver's license to drive. I think they should just drive without the driver's license, since nobody seems to care anyway. I think we should get rid of the police force in California, frankly. I think they're costing too much.
Jackson, what happened to Mad Dog? He was making me uncomfortable, and he was also deriding David.
Oh, yeah.
It was like,
Daily.
it was some kind of weird thing like he had going, that it was some kind of infatuation with me.
Yeah.
And I kept telling him, dude, back off. I
Back
don't
off.
like you that way. That actually makes me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And he just kept
kept
going.
doing it. And
you
then,
want to switch with me? Or
no, well, yeah, I don't want you to be near the radiation.
I don't mind being near the radiation.
Well, it is elevated. It's not
It's
right
fine.
on you. It's not near you. I mean, it's above you. So,
Well, you know, the thing is, Jackson, I would forgive him. However,
no.
I did already forgive him, and it continued, and I didn't feel like
He wasn't getting the message.
you know, the thing is, Jackson, that he needed to go find someone else to, if that was the thing, he was looking for someone interesting to be with, go find a different person to do that.
Yeah.
He didn't need to, like, he already knows that I'm with David. I'm not. Anyway,
Let's take a look at that Trump link.
thank you, and I appreciate that, Miss Anthropy.
I'm going to take a look at this Trump link because
But
this is
for
the big
friends,
story here.
Brother, sister kind of thing.
Yeah. Thank you. The big story that we have to deal with.
Here, can I maybe move it up there?
Well, I just want to look at the story real quick. It won't take me long. And we can use this as our screen to go to whenever we want to look at something that happens to be in the room.
That sounds good.
And it says Trump says he didn't know his attorney paid $130,000 to porn star Stormy Daniels. That looks like the non-disclosure agreement is going to be voided, and it looks like he's lying. Yeah. And because Michael Cohen, who could face disbarment for his actions, it looks like he got the money, and he declined to say whether he had ever set up a fund for Cohen to cover such expenses. Yet the money was coming out of a Trump organization.
Stormy
So-
Daniels' attorney immediately suggested that Trump's version of events would be shown to be untruthful if he's deposed in a lawsuit brought by the adult film star.
Right. Okay, and just X out of it now.
Okay.
Or you can just uncheck it there. That we can just go whenever you guys, and then go back to the.
I already put it up
Okay,
here.
good.
All right, evening. If you're in California with no police, your life would be short, David.
Oh, come on. You guys are so fearful of everybody. I've been walking around California for the past couple of days among gang members, and I haven't had anybody treat me any differently at all. I really think you guys have a really weird perception of California. And first of all, can you cite one example where the police have actually prevented crime anywhere in America? Thanks. You can get back to me.
Dr. Meow thinks maybe it's all a joke, and the lawyer was the one having relations with Stormy and paying her with Trump's money.
Actually, that's just not.
That's a big
That's
conspiracy
highly
theory.
unlikely. And since Stormy didn't say she was having sex with Michael Cohen, she said she was having sex with him, Trump, once, and she said she has proof. So at one time must have been a moment of excitement. Let's just put it that
What's
way.
your point, 206? You lived in California. What's your point? Miss Anthropy says maybe Stormy was paid $130,000 to help distract people from any real government corruption.
Yeah, right. Sure. Trump was. That's like saying Trump was paid by the Russians to not talk about the Russian involvement.
All right, thank
That's
you. Mystify
ridiculous.
me.
Trump has been working with the Russians to get rid of sanctions for years. They had planned this. They colluded together,
Take
and
care.
they controlled the election. And I don't see how you could come up with any other
You know the thing.
conclusion.
The thing is, never mind. I don't want to say anything.
No.
It's not the flirting. It's also the deriding David.
Yeah,
Saying
it's writing
negative
me.
things about David is what really got Mad Dog kicked out of the room.
Yeah, and we don't really have a place
Why
for
would
people
you?
like
Why
that.
would you say negative things about the caster?
Yeah.
I
We just don't have.
understand that.
It's like he's on some sort of a power trip because I am with Sarah. And that's the problem. So I don't think we need to go into more detail about that. We're done with him. But thanks anyway. I hope he enjoys his book. Wow.
206 thinks the Russians are giving you some money. And
Giving me money? What?
No, they
No.
just see your hands.
I would never take money from Russians. I would never even meet with Russians because that's a violation of the Logan Act, which Trump did numerous times. Guaranteed.
Maybe, Audrey.
What gets me is that Mueller, what I get right now is Mueller's afraid to say that Trump is being investigated on criminal charges. That shows me that Mueller's afraid. That he's afraid to ask Trump for 10 years of tax returns, which Trump said he would automatically give away and never has. So we got him lying about the tax returns, and then Mueller doesn't seem to have the power to get the tax returns for the past 10 years. From 2006 to 2016, those are the relevant tax returns. He hasn't even subpoenaed those. So I'm beginning to think that Mueller is like a paper tiger. He doesn't seem to have any power. If he's able to go after Gates and make him squeal about Manafort, and then we find that Manafort was laundering money connected to Russian purchases of Trump property, then we've got Trump on criminal charges. That's a possibility. But the fact that Trump had a chairman of his campaign who was a Russian oligarch, Paul Manafort, is enough to start the whole deal off on the wrong premise that we should never have a president working with Russia, ever, under any circumstances. So you can see right now that that's a possibility that happened.
206 says, Dave, do you believe the news? And Dr. Meal says, what's real is that this phony collusion charges pushes the UK to start a Cold War with Russia.
No. Russia really did implant VX gas and tried to kill 2 people that had relevant information about the dossier. That is what's going on. Russia is engaged in some pretty sick activities around the world, and the UK has every reason to be concerned, as we should be concerned. And you Russian colluders and traitors to the US ought to be ashamed of yourselves, siding with Russia on every issue, just because you think Trump is stopping the deep state.
Actually,
Trump won't even go after the deep state. He is owned by the deep state.
One person in the chat room said that there's going to be a trade war with China now, and that's Trump's fault. Could go into a shooting war, and that Trump lowered the nuclear threshold, and it could become a conventional attack, and it's really turned it from something minor to something very real and very dangerous.
Yeah, and that's the problem with having a loose-lipped person who can sink ships. Trump is not the guy that I am. He is extremely uncalculating. He doesn't plan any of his words out before he thinks. He spends most of his time tweeting, which is the wrong thing to do. We should outlaw tweeting by presidents, in my opinion. And he never, ever acknowledged that he stole ideas from me. And that's seriously wrong. Stealing ideas from somebody when you're running for a public office is really unscrupulous. And he should be charged with crimes for that, too. We shouldn't have more than a year of this Trump nightmare before we move on to fixing our country. Our nation is right now languishing in this deluded belief that Trump would never work with Russia. Trump would never do anything to affect the election or stop sanctions. Trump has been openly trying to stop sanctions since he became president. His current Secretary of State, Pompeo, when he was CIA director, met with Russian intelligence. Seriously, Pompeo met with Russian anti-terrorist groups to deal with some anti-terrorist threat which didn't even exist. So as soon as Pompeo was CIA director, he scheduled a meeting with top Russian intelligence officers. That's suspicious. Now he's the Secretary of State. That's suspicious. Everything about this is suspicious. And he's colluding in so many different ways. We know that Carter Page met with Russian intelligence 3 years before the election. We know that he actually was told by the FBI that Russia was recruiting him, and he still met with Russian intelligence. Carter Page did. So there's so many factors leading to us to believe that Trump was in on this that it's not even funny. There's a preponderance of evidence to suggest that Trump is indeed colluding with Russia. So anybody who's denying this is living in some Republican dream world where you think that corporations are magically going to give you money if you give them tax breaks. Every Republican I know somehow thinks that. I haven't been to any dispensaries, Jackson. I don't, look for pot where I go, but I'm sure they exist. But they're few and far between around here. They're way more in Oregon and Washington. I did talk to a lady at a motel up in Wairika that said she was actually talking about seeds when I walked in to drop our key off, and she said, "I can't believe my brother says he's a connoisseur," and the woman was saying that he paid $200 for 5 seeds of marijuana.
Wow.
$200 for 5 little seeds of marijuana. So apparently California is becoming kind of like a money grab for marijuana deals.
206 asks
Yeah,
David,
5 seeds, $200.
206 asks David, where do you get your news from?
All over. I'm like a sponge. I suck news in.
All right, 767 said Trump just sent 4,000 troops to the border. What are your thoughts on that?
That was my idea. I'm glad he's finally implementing the National Guard strategy I had in 2008 and beyond. These are all my ideas, folks. He's just implementing my ideas, and he's hoping for the best. He should have done it a year ago. The National Guard needs to rotate in and out of the border, and we need to bring the Border Patrol into cities like Tucson and El Paso and Phoenix. We've got kidnappers, drug cartel kidnappers and coyotes working out of these cities. That's where the Border Patrol needs to be. Plus, we need to lie detector all of the Border Patrol supervisors, which could very well be a huge leak right now. We've got people being bribed by coyotes at the border. It's happening. So Border Patrol could be replaced with National Guard, and that would prevent a lot of the corruption. Yeah. Well, let's see if we can get a 1-hour show out of this. Then we'll go to another one. So, all right.
Okay. Anyway.
So what's that read over there?
What? Oh, I'll ask David. Well, David already told you where he gets his news.
Yeah.
767 asks, are the troops equipped to shoot families? The ones that are going to the border. Thanks, Clovis Presley. Scissor Fight thinks that IP is bogus.
Okay, cross-check the IP for me and get back to me.
I'm working on doing that. I'm not sure exactly how to do that.
Oh, don't worry about it.
Do you know how to do that?
No, I'm not tracking the IP of where I'm broadcasting. Well, we're going to do spurts of 1 hour at a time, and we'll come back and do a second part of the show. But this doxing has been going on continuously for some time, and we can't use a VPN at Starbucks. Okay, if you guys could cross-check the IP, that'd be great.
Jackson thinks it's bogus.
Well, just do a reverse IP lookup to see if it's a location somewhere in California.
Okay.
Not you, I'm asking them. Okay. It's in Beaumont, Kansas. Okay. All right. Thank you. Then we're fine. All right. I think I'm going to go get a latte. Would you like something like a hot cocoa or something?
Oh. Yeah, I would.
Okay. I'll get you one.
You mean?
No, he's going to check it out. Oh, I think I went to high school with that guy. Holy moly. Hey, Don, I haven't seen you in years. Don. Wow, that was Don. He was my playmate in high school. And my elementary school.
Large.
All right. I'm kidding. He looked just like Don, though. Don, I knew him in 5th grade.
Having a really big.
No, he didn't. He was too high on meth to say hi back. Most of the people in this area are high on meth. So, Don McLean, right? No, he's not on a meth head. Bye, bye, American Pie. Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. Good old boys drinking whiskey and rye, singing, this'll be the day that I... Beep, beep. Hey, okay, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get something to drink. Relax, enjoy.
Oh, I want a super big hot cocoa.
You do? Venti?
Yeah.
Okay, you got it. On me. Coming up.
Or Trenta, even.
And let's get some air conditioning in
Venti
here.
or Trenta or something. But that's good.
A Venti. Okay, we're gonna get some nice air conditioning for you, sir. I'll be back.
Okay. Oh, wait, David, you dropped something.
Oh, it's my keyboard cover.
My keyboard cover. Okay. No, no one's going to take our car. Okay, the mob. You have a playmate for what? David normally gets a lot of his news from links in the show and Google. No one's going to take our car, especially now. Ha ha ha, that's a little techie. It's funny when people do that. I'm getting my Jackie Onassis on. Yeah, where would I want to go if I did drive somewhere? It's too crowded to go anywhere. Like UNICEF Malaysia reports that children living in low-class flats in Kuala Lumpur live in poverty with malnutrition. Yep. You think pot is cheaper in Washington State? Probably. I don't really know the cost of pot anywhere in the world since I don't engage in pot. Xanthropy says everything's overpriced in California. I do believe in that. Yes, exactly. 679 is correct. I'll never leave David in the dust, and I'll never ditch Dave. I'm always like you said. 679 says Sarah's a ride or die chick. She'd never ditch Dave. And Freaky Frido says I've seen those glosses before, but I forget what they're called. They call them popcorn glosses. Don't I look like a big tub? Won't get the hair out of there, but I look like a big tub of buttered popcorn. That's not the IP. Thank you, Bishop Putin. And Pencil Tucky Ducky says it's legal now in DC, but it's not cheap. And Trolltech says doxing is against the rules. And the Misanthropy. Sarah, would you consider the weather in California to be overrated? It's kind of nice. I have to say, I really enjoyed not being in 50-degree weather for the last week. How do you cross-check IPs? I don't know. I just did what is my IP address, and then I saw what other people are posting and realized, oh, that's not my IP address. You think the only good part of California is Compton? Obviously, you haven't been to other parts of California. I grew up in Riverside, California. Yeah, that's true. I do need to be by the coast. Why are we in California? Because I needed a vacation. I'll tell you where all the places I went on my vacation when I get back home. Thank you, Holiday. Yeah, the weather is doing me some good, except I'm actually going to turn off this car because David does a problem, which is he tends to well, I'll just do that later. He always tends to run the air conditioning all the time, and to me, air conditioning is actually not very good for me. Yes, I do need to make sure my my feet are under the covers when I'm sleeping. Well, it's not that I'm getting a sore throat, it's that I'm getting over a cold for the last 2 weeks, and I thought coming to California and the sunshine will actually help me get over the cold. And it except I've been in air-conditioned cars and air-conditioned rooms and things like that, and that doesn't. Oh crap! Just a sec. That doesn't always help me get over the cold. Because I came down here for like warm weather, but if David's running the warm weather at like 70 all the time, it's not good. I don't like air conditioning. I told David I can't live in a hot climate because I don't like air conditioning. I really do not like air conditioning. But David, it's like he's got to run air conditioning all the time. No, Bishop, thank you for offering. I hope that doesn't happen to me, 612. I'd rather have a fan running. Actually, I don't like, as long as I'm not in front of the fan, it's better than air conditioning. But I personally would rather be in like nothing, just the normal weather. Anyway, so hopefully I just, everything will be fine. I am having a great spring break. I need to find my, I need to get some, oh, put this on.
There's hardly
I
any
turned
room.
off the car because I realized
Yeah.
I don't like air conditioning.
Oh, good. Okay.
I'm
Cool.
sorry, but I just don't.
No, I don't blame you.
Whereas I told them I'm getting over this cold, and they don't.
You don't need air conditioning on.
I just feel like I came down to California to try to get over this cold and get some vitamin D, and then, but I've been in an air-conditioned car and air-conditioned rooms, hotel rooms, and
Yeah, maybe
that
that's a
doesn't
problem.
really help me get over the cold.
Yeah, and we have enough battery power, so I'm not sharing coffee. I got her own.
See, David lifted up in the camera. Your coffee.
I have a
See,
brew,
we
I have a
both have
cold
a
brew.
different-
I got her a hot chocolate. No, I like the jacket. I can't travel without it because it's bulletproof. So I go everywhere with my bulletproof leather jacket.
I know David loves wearing his jacket. I'm like, oh, aren't you hot? But
No, well, I mean, I don't trust people necessarily, so I have to be a little more careful when I travel. I'm always aware of my surroundings, and like many people, I'm taking precautions. I've got a couple.
I've got this.
Great. Great. So we know our IP address. If you want to share it with us, go ahead. We're waiting for you to share it with us.
Somebody else posted what they thought it was, and I said, no, that's not it. So.
I don't carry ham sandwiches with me, but I had a big
We did carry ham sandwiches with us, and we ate them all.
Yeah.
So no more ham sandwiches.
Nope.
David does have some celery and hummus left over.
Well, it's stem celery. It's used for stem celery research.
Well, that's how I felt last night, Con. Brute cow. Whatever. Yes, I felt like that, so that's why we banned somebody, because I felt like they were disrespecting David and trying to stalk me, and I didn't like it.
This cold brew cost me $3.75, and your drink cost me $4, and I put it on my gold card.
Nice.
So, which is part of the promotion that they do. I can't say I dislike this coffee. I'll tell you, it's great coffee, this cold brew. If you haven't tried it, it's 65% less acid. So if you're a big coffee drinker, you want that buzz, try cold brew. It's really good. It takes them 20 hours to brew this.
Oh, wow. 20 hours to brew your cold brew? Wow.
I don't use food stamp cards. I'm not a food stamp recipient.
Check out Aldi Supermarket if you get a chance.
Aldi? Okay. I'll look for that. Aldi is awesome. Is it somewhere in California, Aldi?
No, I think I've heard about Aldi.
I will look it up now. Sarah, as your robotic companion, it is unnecessary for you to look these up. I have instantaneous information through my data bank.
Sure. It's National Electric, Paisley
Super
says, and
cheap, really. My brain power is strong enough to compute this information instantaneously.
Long Beach.
Long Beach. Oh, well, I got to go to Long Beach. That's kind of like going to the hellhole. You know, I used to work at the Pike back in 1975. It was my first job at the Fun House. I didn't officially work. I was helping a family member. But that was a weird time back in Long Beach, California. I had a pretty much 2 weeks of sitting there looking at pimps and prostitutes go in front of me. The pimps took the prostitutes into the fun house, and then they'd wait, and I'd wait for them to come out. They would be like 20 minutes later, they'd come out, and then I'd go in there and I'd clean up all these condoms. Oh, it was pretty bad. It was like being a towel boy in a whorehouse. But luckily, I didn't do that. I know. Tell me about it. I thought I'd gross you out. But my first job was at the Fun House, so from there on in, it was downhill.
Yes, I do look like I'm ready for the Kentucky Derby early.
Yeah, Sarah looks like Annie Oakley, I think. It's really a fitting look. Better than Walmart and a local grocery store. Aldi's. Well, Aldi have to check Aldi's out. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I need to just delete those. Yeah, those are just like spoof attacks. We can just get to them later.
Your first job was a mime for children's birthday parties? Nice.
That's kind of cool. Well, you know, I used to hang out at Compton. I did a few jobs over in Compton when I was younger. I'm not a big burger eater, misanthropy. I stopped eating burger when I found out that 9 downer cows went into the burger. Okay, cool. Oh, wow. Cool.
Nice.
Nice. Okay, cool. Well, we're definitely not burger eaters anymore. Would you say you kicked me from the hot dog thing?
Yeah.
I will never eat another hot dog after meeting Sarah. She convinced me that hot dogs are just too weird. And I'm convincing everyone else that I know that forget burgers. The audio is funny sounding. Are you getting weird audio pickup? Let's mute the media channel. Make sure that's off. Sometimes it affects the audio. I was cooking like whole turkey, no hormone hot dogs, but she convinced me that they're nasty too. Yeah. That I really don't need to eat, sound is fine, good. I really don't need to eat hot dogs because of all the weird things they put in them. And burgers have the same issue going. So now when I eat at restaurants, I eat slices of beef that have been, you know, if there's nothing really good, like if there's no really good meat, I'll eat like the kind of beef they put in beef, you know, beef sandwiches and stuff. But the idea of eating burger is starting to freak me out. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Your grandma hated hot dogs. She called them lips and beep, beep. Yeah, I believe it. Yeah, I think your grandma was a smart lady. Thank you. I think it's working good over at the other place. I'm happy with it.
Okay.
We'll use it for a while. But the idea of eating meat has triggered some concern about guys getting prostate cancer. You know, that's the big concern. There's a study linking meat with prostate cancer, so I'm trying to avoid that.
I don't like hot dogs or hamburgers I mean,
you can make C4 with hot dogs. Oh my God.
I don't mind hamburgers sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't like hot dogs and I don't like bologna. Eventually we'll be going back home, Electric Paisley.
Yeah, I mean we're going to be back home. We're missing next Saturday's broadcast. We'll be back home. We'll do one more broadcast this week, and we'll be back home for our Monday broadcast. And we'll have a regular schedule then. Tomorrow night I'll be doing you know,
during the show we're just going to hang out during the shows in the car for the trip, and then we just find a spot, hang out during the show, and then once the show's over, then we do get out of the car.
Yeah.
But yeah,
There's not enough room in Starbucks to do shows in this area. We've got bigger Starbucks where we live. So the ones that are in California are kind of small. There's like 6 or 7 seats max, and they're usually filled up. So
plus I think in a car you can have like better, you can talk louder and not worry. I don't know. I just kind of like worry a little bit sometimes what people think. And
so Japanese have the highest rate of stomach cancer in the world.
really,
Really, Trolltech, thanks. I didn't know that. You're saying fish? Fukushima? Wow. Okay.
thank you for liking my
Thanks.
eye makeup.
Well, being today's Technology Thursday, I think it's safe to say that right now Google has a quandary. Uh, I was reading the New York Times, and they said that 3,100 Google employees are filing a complaint that the federal government, the U.S. government, and the military are trying to use Google to integrate with their AI systems for the purpose of using drones.
Oh, the military
Yeah.
is.
And there's 3,100 Google employees that have signed this petition saying they don't want to work for the military.
Hmm.
They didn't realize they hired onto the military when they
When
joined
they
Google.
joined Google, right?
So Google's already using a lot of the military funding to build their core backbone.
Oh,
Same with
Scissorfoot
Facebook.
has a thing since it's Tech Thursday. An engineering software giant is giving away its products for free. Ansys software, used by hundreds of firms globally, is offering its software to students absolutely free. Ansys.
Well, that's good. It's like 3D imaging. Okay,
It's a popular engineering software company
cool.
used by hundreds of firms globally.
I actually test drove the Ansys product. It was supposed to be an alternative to CAD CAM, as I recall. Is that correct? I tried it when it first came out. I was actually one of their prototypes. Yes. So cool. That's going to be available for students. That's going to be excellent. Good. I actually downloaded their beta a long time ago. Hey, Jackson, thanks for coming into our iBlog room. But no, the workers at Google are kind of freaking out because the federal government's been parking themselves there and doing work with AI, integrating AI with databases and information streams. Facebook just admitted that they have pretty much made 84 million
David.
identities vulnerable.
So Misanthropy says, did you see that link on that site? How they're now openly admitting to using laser weapons to transmit voices to people's heads.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. The voice to skull technology is very much real. In fact, if you look up the voice to skull technology sites, they're starting to disappear.
We're in the
They don't
middle
want
of
to
the
talk
show.
about it. Yeah. U.S.
Our
military aims to start using laser weapons that produce voices by 2021. That is crazy, Misanthropy. Thank you.
Oma says her Facebook is messed up. What happened to your Facebook?
Oma
Oh,
is
because of
having
the
Facebook. Why? Yeah.
oh, because of the whole privacy breaches. Is
Yeah.
that right?
hmm We still have an account with Facebook, but we really haven't used Facebook because of the issues of privacy. And they keep a timeline of your activities. I don't dig it. I really feel that we have to be a lot more concerned about individual freedom and privacy. And America is kind of behind the ball on this. We really allowed these people to gain too much access, and it affected our election. Mini do-it-yourself drone flies at an impressive height of 33,000 feet over Siberia. Really? No kidding. Let's hit on that link. And if you want to hit the desktop button, that'll show you what's in there. Let's see if we have that button available.
Maybe I should just close out of here for now.
Misanthropy is distancing himself more and more from society, and it's the only sane thing to do. Well, with a name like Misanthropy, I suppose you would. So we're looking at a video here of a drone over Siberia, 33,000 feet. Let's take a look at that video. We'll hit the play and see what it looks like. Whoa. There it goes. Whoa, it just flies straight up in the air. Look at this. Wow. Okay, I've seen enough.
Okay, sorry.
I mean, you can watch a drone so long it starts to drone on and on. Pun intended. All right.
We're using Wi-Fi from an establishment. Yes.
Yes, we're definitely sharing Wi-Fi. I did spend $7.45 though. That's kind
Freaky
of cool.
Frido asked, "What's the point of using that laser weapon? Does it leave a digital imprint behind?"
You know, I'm thinking that the laser beam will imprint a thought in your head you'll never be able to get rid of. That's how serious this technology is. You know, can you imagine a laser beam hitting your brain and saying you are no longer interested in sex? Can you imagine how that would be? We've got 95 viewers on iVlog. Hey guys, welcome. Well, I'm glad we finally reached you. You know, we've been using iVlog because of the guest chat capability, and I think that's the best part about iVlog, frankly. Guest chat was shut down on Vaughn, so we're using iVlog as our guest perspective. So I'm excited to know that we've got great technology growing in our country, but Silicon Valley has kind of drifted. It's no longer the venture capital of the world. Singapore is, which is interesting. You know, where the money is going, where the cheap labor is. That's where money is going. Whoa. We had a spill.
Sorry,
That's okay. It didn't go too far.
it was mainly on my wrist.
It was just that momentary lapse of consciousness when you get that extra sugar.
I was gonna try to have a momentary lapse of consciousness.
No, it didn't stain anything. That's the nice thing about leather upholstery. You know, when we travel in bulletproof cars, we like to have all our upholstery leather.
All right, here I was gonna do that so you can see the chat,
Yeah, I'm looking at myself too.
and then I was gonna probably.
So far, so good. Are we visiting someone in California? Actually, I have a friend in California that we did visit. Oh, that's not where we're located. So, yeah, I wouldn't bother those people over there because we're not located there. But you've been banned. The trip is it's a 9-day trip. 9 days on the road, and I'm going to get a home on Monday. The nice thing about Starbucks is they use central servers, and we were bothered over at that 1200 Harbor Boulevard location. They did bother those people, but I got away from there, and we're no longer in that location. So. I know, the manufactured drama from the top down. I hear you.
Well, no, someone just posted an address of a Starbucks in California.
Yeah, that's not a Starbucks we're at. No, I can confirm we're not at that location.
I wouldn't neither confirm nor deny where I'm located.
Well, I don't mind. Well, I don't want anyone to bother them over there at that 12. You know, I told the manager. I said, "Hey, these people are trolling us.